Hey guys, got around 13 again, and as promised, today we are going to do a video on a large chopping knife, and this would be the Becker BK9. 9 standing for 9-inch blade. You seen the video for the Becker BK7 yesterday, and as promised, here is the video on the BK9. So let's go ahead and get into this video right away. Start talking about specs on this. And go ahead and zoom in. Now if you've seen my video on the Becker BK2, previously reviewed in the BK7, pretty much specs are all the same here. Just this camera here. This being, like I said, 9-inch blade, comes with a very similar, or the exact same, nylon sheath with a pretty decent belt loop, not too large, so it should fit on, your average belt. Also has some grommets here so you can attach to your molly if you want. A large pocket with another insert in here to protect for another knife if you're to use that. These used to come with the Becker BK13 little blade, but they don't no longer, it seems to be. You can put a sharpening stone in there or whatever. Overall good blade, one retention strap. Besides that, there is no other retention to the blade, so you definitely want to keep that snapped or you will lose your knife. So that's pretty much it, same as the sheath on the BK7 from yesterday. We'll go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. Now, like I said, this is a 9-inch blade. Partial flat ground. You got it's a clip bowie design. They call this the Becker BK9 Combat Bowie. So this can be used as, a large chopping blade, obviously for woodwork, survival work, make a good survival knife. Also on the large side, a combat blade, kind of big, but some people may like the bigger blade. Nice big false swedge here for piercing if need be. Comes pretty sharp. Made of 1095 Crowvan steel, just like the BK2 and BK7. So it's easily sharpened to put on an edge. Grivery handle, same exact handle as BK7, BK2, with a glass breaker pommel hair or hammer. Go ahead and get a zoom in on that. K-bar Becker. Nice big old 9-inch chopping blade. Weight on this thing is just over a pound. So it's got a little heft to it, but actually it's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. This knife can replace partially, say in my kit, my option, like I usually do carry a machete, this being a 13-inch Sogfari machete. But this combined with a smaller knife, would be a good combination for out in the woods. Something for more small, delicate work, and this for the larger tasks of chopping. And say shelter building, batoning, processing firewood. Like I said, when you compare this to, we'll go ahead and compare this to the BK7 from yesterday. In overall length, 7-inch blade. Very similar, if not the exact same thing, just a couple inches smaller in size. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and throw in the BK2 here. Like I said, all grips are replaceable. So if you were to buy one set of the micarta grips that are out there, you can replace them. They'll be useful on each knife here. The only one difference between this blade and these two is the BK2 is not a clip design. clip design blade. This is a more of a drop point blade. Plus this BK2 is actually thicker. If you look at the spine on these two, the BK2 is actually a 1/4 inch, and it's just under a 1/4 inch. I don't have the exact measurements on the BK9 offhand here, but you definitely see it is it's more than 3/16. I think it's, forgot exactly what it is, but it's more than 3/16, and it's definitely under a 1/4 inch, as opposed to the 1/4 inch of the BK2. This is what makes this an all-around awesome knife, because you know you can use this for big tasks like chopping, batoning wood, and doing delicate work if you get a nice nice grind on this, nice edge on this. So there's kind of a look at all three. There are more knives to the Becker BK line. There is a couple other ones out there. There's like an overall, like a pry bar tool that they have. I think that's a BK5. One knife I like out there, the Becker BK necker. It's a little neck knife. That's pretty cool. I'd actually like to check that thing out sometime in the future. And going back to my video from a couple days ago on this cold steel super edge, this tiny little knife, and I was talking about going through the broad spectrum of the far end larger knife and the small knife. There we go. Let's compare this 9-inch blade with the Becker BK9. I want to do over too long of an overview on this knife because I pretty much covered everything from on the BK7. But in general, this BK9, it's not much heavier than this BK7. I do like this BK7. Messed around with it a little more, but this thing is pretty cool. I can't wait to get out and blast some logs and get to some chopping with this BK9. It's got some good balance to it. You know, it's got some good, you know, it's not overly heavy at all. And it is just as sharp as this BK7, which I demonstrated yesterday. All in all, guys, I think this is a good option to have a large chore knife to use for overall survival. More on the survival end, as far as a combat blade. You know, that's all depends on how you feel about having a overly large, you know, knife for a combat role. Maybe the 7-inch might be something a little better suited, or even going down to this being somewhere, I think, 5.5 inch. I'm actually going to do a video coming up here in the next couple days talking about combat knives specifically. Not so much on the sense of a survival knife, but more on the combat knife, and show you some options that I have to fill that role, and kind of talk about what I think makes a good combat knife. But this, I wanted to briefly just touch on this Becker K-Bar Becker BK9 1095 Crovan 9-inch blade, clip Bowie knife, Gregory scales, pommel, and that's pretty much it, guys. Round out this segment of videos. So look for that video coming up on fighting knives, combat fighting knives, coming here next day or two. And then we'll see you on the next video, guys. So this is Gunner Run 13, and we'll talk to you later.